I'm hitting the button just because
Okay.
only Richard is watching us, so it's fine.
We only disappointed Richard. I'm sorry, Richard.
Well, I'm bummed out about that too. I'm going to pause my uploading everywhere because how do you do this?
Oh, and I meant to ask you about that. I've got a new Cloud Sync backup running on my to Backblaze on my NAS.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, it goes slow, like
Did
five
I
meg a
unmute
second.
me yet?
I hear you fine, and I'm
Am I
not in.
in? Not in. I'm not in Discord. I'm in.
I left the Discord voice chat. I'm
Good.
double
So,
check.
and you can still hear me.
I can still hear you. So
Where do I see my audio? Okay, my audio levels look okay. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness.
how are my audio levels?
How are you doing tonight, Richard? I didn't look. Say something, Tup. Where are you?
I'm
There you
I'm
are.
saying things.
You'll be okay.
I'm excited, and I
You'll be okay. Where's my screen over here? Oh my goodness. Where are my notes? Right here. Oh my gosh. Oh, and I didn't start recording in OBS. That's gonna be a bummer. I hope we can hear. Say something, Tubby.
I'm gonna say something
Huh.
right now. Was that something enough?
Probably. Discord or OBS doesn't hear you. Let me see the. I know why. There we go.
It's not my fault.
Now I can start recording, and
I,
I'll have some audio in there to line this up with. Then, yeah. Why are you at the bottom of my window? Yeah, there you go. That's what I just did. I just pushed you up to the top there so I could see you. Where are the notes? Oh my gosh, Brian, this is
the
hard work.
the notes are over here.
Where are they? Let's get them. Put them in this window. They should be in this window too. And I remember asking Richard how he was doing, and I didn't get to. I can't see that window yet. He can hear us both. We
He's
must
con-
be doing all right.
we're doing a better job.
Oh
We
my goodness.
we started out poorly.
Right, I'm in frame. We could see this extra remote control. I'll hide that. We don't need that. I'm gonna tuck my goggle away here so I can't see me. I don't need to see me.
We can see my. I
Is that
don't
your
know.
face?
Is that my face on a sound panel?
I'm in your face. Do you have the notes for today, Tubby?
I have the notes open, but I don't understand what we're going to talk about.
Well,
I see the four 3D printing topics.
I liked all of the 3D printing topics. Is there
Okay.
anything you think we should scooch up to? Guess I could just start opening these. Why do I have a watch time?
Yeah, our whole uncategorized.
Is growing and it's old.
Well, it's growing and old, and it seems like a lot of it we've looked at. Do we want to talk about Zach and his 3D printer Sudoku races? Did we talk about that yet?
We didn't. We did not. I'm not sure I know what to say about it today. It's been a long time since I watched that.
Yeah, me too. There's been at least 2 holidays since I watched it. Oh, Chris is right. Your door's open, Tubby.
Oh, jeez.
I can see it. Tell
Hey,
her
Chris, you want to close that door? I can't get there from here. My goggles are on.
I was going to tell her to put something inappropriate on the television. See if we could see it.
Did you see how sneaky she was?
She
back
was.
there? I didn't even
Thank-
see her. I was
Thank you,
looking
Chris.
in the window over there.
Look at all this other stuff that you see because of my new
You
wide
put the
angle
wide
lens.
angle on.
Yeah.
There. Oh, geez, it looked wide when you did that. Do that again. Get in and say wide angle.
Wide angle.
Nice. Yeah, that sound panel, Tubby. I don't want to tell you how many time units that took to.
It looked like a lot of work. I look at it and it looks like a lot of work. How long did those ones?
Well,
that
I
we
don't
made,
know. I didn't keep track. No, I was thinking about this the other day. We jam-a-lammed together those sound panels in your studio in an afternoon. I mean,
Yep.
we just no, we didn't. It took way more than an afternoon to make one.
Yeah, but none of mine are plumb or square or
It's true.
we weren't. What were they're made out of bed sheets, right? Bed sheets and insulation.
Yeah,
There was
this
some.
is acoustic fabric and insulation.
Yeah,
on
this is
yours there,
this is a legit sound panel, not a. I hope
and
this
it's
works.
thick. It's thick. We made
It's
yours out of
thick.
1x2s, and this has
It's like
3-inch deep insulation in it. I thought about going deeper because it's free to go. I mean, it didn't cost much more to go deeper, but I was
let's
worried
go.
it might
Was
stick
that
out too far from your wall.
an MC Hammer song? Let's go deeper.
Is it really?
I think so.
I would believe
I'm gonna
that.
double check that. You can play that. You can. Does
I
that's
don't.
that's fair use, right? If we lay that track under right now when we're talking about MC Hammer and let's go deeper, it's probably
Maybe.
not even MC Hammer. I'm sorry.
It's okay, McHammer. It's okay. But I thought if we made it a 6-inch panel, then you're supposed to put that 6 inches from the wall, and that would be sticking out as
A
far
foot.
as your NAS over there.
Probably.
What's going on with your NAS over there, Tubby?
It's lit up.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, I
Should
got
we
some.
make a 3-minute episode out of that?
Yeah, maybe. Do we want to?
Yeah, I'll do a little intro. And
Okay.
We'll pretend it's an
I mean,
episode.
We can do a real. I don't know how long I can talk about it.
You don't have to talk.
Yeah.
We'll just chit chat about what's in there, and you could give me a little overview on the specs or something, right? We could, like, what kind of CPU is in there.
It's about this big. No.
Let me just check one thing in the stream first before I'm going to pause your upload too, because you're blipping every now and then a little bit.
Am I? Do you want me to?
No,
You did
I
it.
got it.
You're in control.
All right. I should take a drink. Is that okay? Chris's door is open.
Oh, I can see your radio.
My radio. My Tyrannus is back
Yeah.
there somewhere.
It is. It's like it's right there. I'm pointing at it.
You said my radio. I'm thinking like, did I get a radio?
A boom box.
Yeah, like a boombox, or like. Well, I was thinking it.
I used the
picture
right
that popped
word and
into my
everything.
head was a clock radio.
Okay.
A clock radio. Good, great. With a
Groundhog Day.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Butter What Show. I'm Pat Regan. This is BrianCMoses.com, and we have important things to talk to you on our live stream here. But I was looking at that lit up NAS case sitting behind Brian, and I just had to ask him about it. So I figure he might be willing to spend a few minutes explaining that 3D printed case to us back there.
Yeah, over the weekend, I guess for fun on New Year's Day, I took the door off of my it's an MK735. It's all 3D printed. The hinge design is ingenious. It snaps into the actual door itself. So there's a special little tool to remove that hinge. And I printed 4 of those, and I removed the door, and I hooked up a Wi-Fi LED controller and an RGB. I guess they're 50/50 strip of LEDs, and lined the entire door frame with that, and have it plumbed into my home automation and everything now.
What? I'm trying to find a tweet, Brian, but I don't know what to search for.
Brian C. Moses. I'm on
Thanks.
Twitter.
Thanks so much.
Brian C. What did I?
I did LEDs by latest, and I didn't find anything. I was
Home
hoping to find-
Assistant. Maybe Home Assistant would be a good one, or
Oh,
DIY
here we go.
NAS.
I found a couple here. I'll cut that out of the episode, but you
Okay.
can keep talking, and I'll put these up for everybody who's tuned in.
But I did it. I did it intentionally for these live streams. I wanted something. I wanted something lit up behind me, like the Butterwhat logo and Bender. I'm envious
didn't light up
of
Bender
both.
today.
Yeah,
I did a bad
that's
job.
okay.
Oh gosh, it's one notch too far. There we go.
So yeah, I wanted something lit up, and you know the design of the door, the front of it is a mesh to let more air through, and I thought it would be really cool to light it up.
So, what kind of case is this,
The
Mr. Brian?
It's the MK735. It was designed by 3dweeby.com. It's all 3D printed. It holds 7 3.5-inch drives and 2 2.5-inch drives. And then it's a mini ITX case. And I have a super micro, I don't know, the X11 STV 4 TNLF. That might be right. Don't quote me on that. Maybe
This is
Pat will
some
put
kind
it.
of little baby Xeon or something.
It's a Xeon D2123 IT. It's a 4-core, or it's a 4-core 8-thread. I guess supposedly low power for a Xeon.
And you migrated everything over from your old
Yep.
NAS to this 3D printed case.
Yeah, I've migrated the entirety of my old NAS, and then some of what my home lab server was doing so far, and that'll be
What are you running on there, Tubby?
a blog topic. Right now, I've got Nextcloud running on there. I've got Plex running on there. I've got Tailscale running on the host. And
What is the host?
The host is TrueNAS Scale. It's TrueNAS. I mean, we know TrueNAS from their roots in FreeNAS, but that product is now called TrueNAS Core, which runs on FreeBSD, and TrueNAS Scale runs on Linux, I believe Debian. Debian Bullseye, maybe? Don't quote me on that.
Bullseye. Boy, I don't even. I'm not even going to try to guess.
Yeah, I think that's right, but I'm not entirely positive.
It looks nice. It's very tiny in your background, of course.
Yep.
But that's fine. But I love the MK735 case.
I don't know a better way to say that. I think it's the pinnacle of 3D printing.
It really is. It goes together so nice. It's a huge print job, though.
Huge. So long. We've talked about it before on the live stream, but yeah, like I think it was 2 to 3 weeks of basically nonstop printing, and that was with a couple
failures.
A couple failures of prints that took 1 to 2 days straight of nonstop printing.
Yep, and I know it's not the densest case. That UNAS 800 case you used to have was pretty.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being much more dense than that UNAS case.
Yeah, that was
but this
compact.
isn't that undense. This is a little bit bigger with the same amount of stuff in it, but this looks way easier to work with.
It is. It was way easier to work with to get put together, but it was a lot more work to assemble the case. You buy a case and it's already assembled. With this, you printed all the parts and you got them all together and you press fit some and you had to screw some together. So it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen of another.
But at the point you're at right now, this looks like it would be easier to service most things.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching you put the parts, not put the UNAS case together, but I remember you watching, put the motherboard in the tray, put the hard drives in here, put the SSDs.
Yep.
And I remember you getting to a point where a cable couldn't reach, and you had to take all kinds of things out and put it back in. And
yep.
I mean, once you get the puzzle together, it's great. But this looks easier.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah, like with the UNAS case, one of the things that I was considering this year was just buying RAM and sticking it in that case, and that would have involved basically disassembling the entire thing and reassembling it. And if I was going to go to that much work, I had the MK735. I was just going to move into that. But now if I decided to double the RAM, I probably wouldn't have to do anything other than pop the top and snap the new dims in.
Fantastic, Tubby. And I like that it's blue, and I enjoy that custom sound panel.
The custom sound panel is awesome too.
But I think you're right. I think we need to light that sound panel.
I don't know how. I don't want to backlight it. I like
that I can do this from across the room, but you're right that you have to set that up every time. The light that I have on, boy, I can't see, on the Butter What logo back there.
Yep.
I don't like that it spills way up above.
I was looking at some really inexpensive. I don't think I could do it because it's not, but some really inexpensive LED spotlights, which are probably a lot like what you're doing right now, but you couldn't narrow their beam.
Yep.
But if you could, they would they could stick to they had double stick tape. They could just stick to I wanted to say roof, the ceiling, and then aim it down. But I think you're right that they would. It's a big panel. It's much bigger than that painting, but I think it would still spill over the edges.
Yep.
And I don't want to backlight it because that's just going to make the front of it seem darker.
Yeah, it'll just make the frame seem brighter, not your face.
Not my gorgeous face.
Well, I got to tell you, Tubby, your face definitely looks better in a drawing than in person.
The less
and you guys
detailed,
don't
the
have
better.
to see them in 4K like I do. So
feel bad for Pat.
I think that was all right, Tubby.
I think so too.
And I'll sneak some pictures into that episode. I like plugging Toby's beautiful case. It's such a nice case.
It really is. I know a lot of people join our Discord server and talk about. I mean, lots of people have talked about it. I hope some of them are actually printing it.
It's such an undertaking.
It is. It's a.
Well, you know what I didn't put on our docket, but I wonder if you want to chat about it.
What's that?
Is moving to Prusa printers.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Yulia's talking bad about you, Pat.
Oh no, in the live stream?
About my beautiful face, I think.
Oh, well, what does she know? She likes you, Tubby. I don't like you. There's Yeah, I'm going to grab some of these Prusa printer URLs and drop them into our shared browser over here. Did I really remember to start recording? Yes, I did.
I hope so. It says recording. Or are you talking about OBS?
OBS, yeah, for the desktop there. Can I bring up my profile? Pat's profile.
What didn't we like about things?
They don't render anything.
They don't rent. Yeah,
or they only render things.
They only render things. They don't let you use pictures. And their import was wonky, wasn't it?
I didn't get that far.
Yeah, I thought I tried.
But Thangs was the only place I made an account besides Thingiverse.
Yep. And Prusa Printers.
Well, now, yeah.
.com? .org?
.org. PrusaPrinters.org.
Okay.
And I've got several of the URLs open here. Let's just let's launch into an episode here. Tony.
Okay.
What do you think? Did I miss anything besides Yulia telling me I'm wrong?
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
They don't put timestamps on the chat.
Yeah, they do.
Not in my...
Yulia said it at 9:30 p.m.
My control room view does not show any.
You need a wider monitor, Pat.
Oh, toggle timestamps. There they come. Where am I going? Well, I don't need to go anywhere. This is fine.
Go to your breadboard vice.
Oh, well, I'll click it. It'll be on my page. Because I have something to talk about that, too. You ready?
What's it saying?
Oh, you have there's a caution.
Your computer is not allowing Riverside to record. Please refresh to allow it.
Oh, jeez.
God, I hope this is still working. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm going to set you back to. You're uploading it. I hope it.
I don't
Oh.
know. I launched it in incognito mode, thinking
Oh.
that I might have had an extension or something messing up
Yeah.
the mic just to see if it was working. And you started.
Oh, well, this might be really bad because we might not have. If your incognito mode might throw away the recording that didn't get uploaded yet.
Well, it said. Oh, when you. It
When you
says
hit
up.
refresh, it might
It
have all.
says it's uploading at 80%.
That's
I
this episode. That's right now what we're.
fart.
Well, let's. We're gonna do some investigating to find out if we're in trouble.
Do I need to pause my uploading again?
No, no, we're gonna keep it going because I'm scared that. Yeah, uploading is incomplete, but it doesn't tell me. That could just be the current upload is incomplete. It doesn't really give me the details. But it's only you. The rest. Oh, okay. So 3 of us are uploading the screen, you and me, but there's a 4th you that's incomplete.
Should I
Are you in incognito mode now?
No.
Okay. But you
I
might
hit
have been.
I hit that refresh and it was kicking me. It was asking me to to log back in and set up the devices and asking for permissions.
Yeah. Well, we might not have. It's possible we won't have the Toby episode, at least not in good quality.
Okay.
So we're gonna truck forward and we'll see what we get.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Where everything is happy. Okay, I'm gonna. Chris can something. She can. I don't know what she's canning.
She can't agree with your statement. I'm guessing.
Mine or yours?
Well, the one that Yuli is disagreeing with.
I don't know anything. All right, I'm gonna launch in here. Here we go. You ready, Tubby? Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Butter What Show. I'm Pat Regan. This is my co-host Brian Moses, and Brian and I both migrated from Thingiverse.com to prusaprinters.org 2 weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah, and we've got some, just things to say about this, right?
Yep.
Do you want to start, or should I just start saying what I really feel?
Go for it. Let us
All right.
know. Drop some truth bombs.
All right. Well, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Thingiverse has been going downhill for a long time. Their search has always been garbage.
Always.
Forever. Their site is getting slower and slower. There's more ads. And I don't know if it happened, if they started to go downhill when MakerBot sold themselves, got bought by Stratasys. But Stratasys doesn't care about home 3D printing. And Thingiverse has just been, declining.
Stumbling along.
Yeah. And then, maybe 3 weeks ago, Thingiverse had a data breach. And all of our passwords got leaked. And as soon as I heard about that, and probably you too, I went and I changed my password immediately. And when I did that, I said in my head, this is the last time I'm changing my Thingiverse password. It is time to migrate somewhere else. And then the next day, they told me my password that I changed, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to hit the password reset button.
Do it again.
Do it again, because they didn't keep track that I changed my password after the breach.
Yep.
And yeah, that really made me sick of it. So I started checking all of the 82 alternatives out.
There's so many.
So many. What did you think of the alternatives, Tubby?
I didn't dislike them all. But I wanted something that was better than Thingiverse, and it seemed like everything that I was checking out, there was a thing or two or more that I didn't like. That I don't want to say, it made it seem to me more like Thingiverse than what I wanted to switch to. Um, yeah, I left for the same reason. I changed my path. I mean, they had the breach, and not only did they have the breach, they were breached, and you heard about it from everybody else,
Except
and
for
then
them.
except for them, and then like way after the fact, they said, "Hey, you need to change your passwords." You know, after Pat had already, done the responsible thing and changed his password. So I checked out a lot of them. I checked out Things,
With
and
an
I
A,
with an A,
not an I.
Things, not an I, and it was okay, but they only, I think, when you upload an object, they only display the 3D renders, none of the extra media like pictures or videos or anything that you did
Nope.
to complement it. And that
And
was,
their rendering is beautiful. They have
yep,
a really
yeah,
nice rendering engine. It's really nice to zip around in an object. But I don't know about you, but when I go searching for a 3D print, I want to see a successful print. I don't want to
yep,
see a model.
yep, yeah. For all I know, that model, nobody's ever printed it. I mean,
Yeah.
I like, well, and I like to see it for scale too, right? I mean, usually I'm looking for a functional print, and sometimes it's nice to see that, the thing that I want to print to hold a cell phone is
It's
is
clipped
act
to the cell phone
is
already.
actually holding a cell phone. I mean, you hear stories of people downloading something and printing it, and they get, a little, what is this, a school for ants? I mean,
Yeah.
they print something and the scale's completely wrong, and I mean, they're disappointed because they invested time into running a successful print that won't do what they hoped it would do. So, I think, I mean, I think it's important that there's other kinds of media that
Super important.
go along with the pro or
And
an object listing.
I wound up using Prusa printers, but I scratched them off my list almost as soon as their repository came into existence for two reasons.
Yep.
I didn't want to hitch my wagon to another company that makes 3D printers because Thingiverse belongs to MakerBot, and MakerBot was getting all weird with their firmware being closed source, and then everything was getting more and more closed, and then they sold to Stratasys. Prusa's done a fantastic job, but maybe they'll decide to sell out tomorrow,
Yep.
and maybe I don't want to be on that wagon. And I really don't like that they encourage you to upload G code,
Yeah, that's strange.
pre-sliced G code. It's really weird.
It's
I could probably talk for 20 minutes about how weird it is, but I'm okay with just saying it's weird, and you probably shouldn't download other people's G code.
weird and potentially dangerous,
Yeah,
right?
I
I
know
mean,
Tom Sandlatterer had a video where he managed to upload at least 3 different things that could damage your Prusa printer
yep.
if you just ran the G code. You have things like crashing into your bed and just dragging along your PEI to put a gouge in it, heating things too much. I don't know, goofy stuff.
Yep. Yeah, it
But
seems
then
like,
I was close to looking at Cults 3D.
yeah, and
I
I
was
had
inches
actually
away from creating an account, and I know you created an
I
account.
created an account. I imported all of my stuff over from Thingiverse. I didn't publish it, but I went through all of my blogs and updated all of the links to my own stuff to update to the Cults 3D links for all of those same objects.
Yep.
And then one day, I don't know how I saw it. I was actually on Reddit. I don't spend a lot of time on Reddit, but I saw I guess a designer. I guess you can buy or collect money for your objects on Cults 3D. And a designer had run into an issue with getting payment from them and
Well,
had,
I'm gonna stop you just because I don't think we need to get into the weeds on the stuff that we can't confirm.
yeah,
There was an alleged designer who allegedly couldn't get into contact with Cults 3D, and Cults 3D allegedly tried to contact him. But to me, none of that matters. In the middle of the Reddit thread, they said it's all his fault. The creators, the one of the founders of Cults 3D said it's all this guy's fault. They gave us his email address
they
and his
doxed
contact
them.
information. Yeah, and as soon as I said, like, hell no,
Yeah,
not going to be Cult 3D for sure. But that's the thing that made me realize that I should go with prusaprinters.org. Because I didn't realize how much trust I needed to have in the company that's hosting all of my 3D prints.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of trust is important. Yeah.
Yep, and they totally Cults 3D lost every bit of whatever small amount of trust I would have had before that, right?
Yeah.
And now,
Yeah. That was a
and their
PR
apology was
disaster.
horrible.
Their
And
apology wasn't
it
an
did,
apology at all. I apologized. I apologized better to my siblings when my mom said, "You apologize to them or else," and I did it and didn't mean a single word of it. It was, it was the worst
yeah,
apology
it was
possible.
1,300 and some odd words that only mentioned in 3 words at the very beginning, and the too long didn't read that they doxed somebody.
Yeah.
They didn't really apologize. It was terrible. But it doesn't matter. The important thing is we've both migrated to
Prusa
prusaprinters.org.
printers,
And
and it's improved.
yeah,
I think
it's
a
way
lot
better than
since
it
our.
was the first time I
Yep.
saw it.
They're they didn't when I looked at it the first time, they didn't have anything to import from Thingiverse. And I don't know that I have that many objects, but I didn't want to go through the work of copying and pasting and uploading all of those. And that was kind of at the top of my list of, well, wherever I migrate to has to be able to do this. So
Yeah.
that was nice. That's a I don't I don't follow their changelog well enough to know when that came into existence, but that's a that's a great feature to have.
Now, I'm going to tell you the thing that I'm bummed out about. Because I might not have realized it if Prusa Printers wasn't giving away free filament to designers. I assume you've seen this?
I have seen this.
Because I went and checked my analytics on Thingiverse. Because I have it up here. I don't know if I'll probably put it on the screen when we publish the episode. But if you reach I'm assuming I understand this correctly. If you do 200 downloads and 15 likes in a 30-day period, you get 100 points. And I assume you get the 50 and the 10 points for the previous levels in the same 30-day period. My breadboard vice easily hits this level on Thingiverse every single month. It almost makes it to the plus 200 points. If you
What's
can get
your
all 4 of these every month,
what's
that's pretty.
breadboard vice?
Pardon?
What's your breadboard vice?
Oh, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. But out of all my objects that are imported into Prusa Printers, I've only been there 2 weeks, so I'm not bubbled up to the top of the search results yet. But I get fewer downloads. I'm going to get fewer downloads in my first month on Prusa Printers than I get in a day on Thingiverse. The community is
Smaller?
way smaller. It has to be way. And I'm not at the top of the list yet.
Yeah.
Not that I'm trying to be at the top of the list. I may never be at the top of the list, but
Everybody go like and subscribe.
yeah, go like and subscribe to Pat and get me a free spool of filament. And I'm honestly not hunting for filament. I don't
Yeah.
burn through that much filament that I need free filament.
But it's a neat I think it's neat. It's an achievement in a video game. I mean, it's like but you actually get something other than that little badge that pops up that says Brian got 5,675,000 headshots in whatever game.
Yeah. But I got on my breadboard vice, which is this little doodad I have up here. You can clamp your little Arduino boards and stuff next to your breadboard. I have on Thingiverse, I have like 50 some odd makes. I have tens of thousands of downloads. It's a pretty popular item. But in the 2 weeks I've been here on Prusa Printers, I'm up to 4 likes and 1 make. So it's getting there. We're making progress.
Did you print me one or did I print my own?
I don't know.
I think you printed me one and gave it to me.
I've printed a lot of these. But I have my first review, which comes with the make. It's a 4-star review.
4 stars. That's
4
good.
stars. I'll take it. I'm happy with that. So I'm excited. But you went a step further. You deleted your Thingiverse account.
Yeah, I just I deleted all my objects and deleted the whole account. I don't want another password to worry about getting breached. And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't have that many. I don't have any objects that are as popular as your breadboard vise.
Yep. I thought
But
about deleting it, but I also thought, well, I get half my YouTube traffic from the breadboard files
yeah,
to my personal page. I don't my personal YouTube channel. I don't need to delete that yet. But we'll see. The problem with all the Thingiverse competitors is there's so many of them.
yeah,
There's not one large. Yeah, I used to say Thingiverse was my favorite social media network, and that's almost true. I mean, it's a community of other people that are 3D printing, and I get to like their stuff, which is cool. But I sure don't want to upload my stuff to 82 different.
no,
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 absolutely
yeah.
not.
I don't
I
want to
don't want to keep up
maintain
with that.
numerous accounts. Yeah, I that'd be that'd be a bummer.
But I guess we'll be coming back to this in a few months to tell you guys how it
How
worked
it's
out.
worked out? Yeah. Maybe I if anything, I've thought about I've got all sorts of things I've 3D designed but have never bothered to upload anywhere. It's kind of made me want to dig back through, my repo of 3D objects and see if there are any that I think are worthy
Of getting your 10 points out of
of
it.
getting me points towards free rolls of filament that I won't use or need.
Yep. I think we petered out of stuff to talk about on that
I
topic.
think so. Maybe a little bit.
I'll take that.
That was an episode. It's
That
not
was
even
def-
on our list of
it
things to
is not
talk
even on
about.
our list. So I'm excited that we managed that.
I'm going to mute my microphone.
Why are you going to do that?
I don't know. No soldering, 3D printed, and hand wired hot swap macro pad.
I thought this was relevant to everything lately. All
Yes.
the things we've been doing.
I don't know that I've.
Well, you can ask me things about it,
Yeah.
and I can tell you the answers.
What's a macro pad?
Well,
Yeah.
oh, we didn't even introduce the episode. Have a good night, Twisted Grim. I didn't. I'm not fast enough to. I don't know if I got. I'm a minute late.
You're a
They
minute
said
late.
you were leaving. I'm gonna play this video, just so it's running. Well, I'll play it after the intro. You ready for the intro, Tubby?
I'm ready for the intro.
Should I have watched the? I should make sure I. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Butter What Show. I'm your host, Pat Regan. This is my co-host, BrianCMoses.com from the internet. And we're going to talk to you about... Oh, I should know his name. I'm not going to pronounce his name. It's probably really easy, but I'm not going to screw it up. We're going to talk to you about this no solder, no PCB, fully 3D printed macro pad that we saw recently.
You had me at no soldering.
Well, he's opening it up here, Tubby. I'll pause it. Oh, I paused it too late. And it's a little out of focus. This guy's camera work needs an upgrade. We're going to have to get him a ZV-1.
Or a Mark IV.
Or a Mark IV. An A7S3 4.
Yeah.
But this is pretty neat. He has hot swap. You have to use cherry switch. Well, there's two different kinds of switches, but they'll work with the standard cherry MX type switches, and you can get those for 10 or 20 cents each if you get the knockoffs. And they're 3D printed hot swap sockets, and he set up the sockets in such a way that you can put these thicker wires. They're like it's like the metal on a resistor or
Okay.
a diode that plugs into a breadboard. It's just like that. And you just lay them into the troughs in the keys, and you squish the...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you squish the
Neat.
back, and it pushes the wire up against the key, and it pushes the... Yeah, here's the little diagram. and it just snaps. It's got little holes to run your wires through.
That is
And I assume it's
interesting.
somewhat parametric here because he could scale them up to different sizes.
Very cool.
Materials. I'm going to skip in somewhere here. Is this the modeling? I think he's 3D printing the keycaps. And here's those hot swap sockets. Oh, here we go. We can watch him put one together here. And he'd be talking if you watch his video, so you should go watch his video.
Make sure we put it in the video description.
Always. It won't just be in the description, Tubby. The people that are watching this published episode will see it down underneath me.
Right here?
Right here. Now, I don't want to say Jeremy's JC Pro macro pad isn't fancy. But he's doing it. This guy, whose name I didn't pronounce yet. I don't want to say he's Jan when he might be Jan.
Oh,
right?
okay.
I don't want to. I don't want to do that. I'll feel bad.
You don't want to get the J wrong.
Right, but this lovely gentleman here, he's got a matrix of keys. It's a 3x2 matrix. Instead of using 6 pins, he's using, well, it's only 5. You don't save all that many here, but it saves them on the wiring.
Okay.
And you can see how, and he's just using bare wires, so you just have to make sure they don't, there's a gap between them there. I can already tell this will be an interesting episode to edit because we're going to stare at it a lot. But see, he's got those 2 wires and then he bends it in. And he just feeds it through the hole to make tension. He doesn't...
Wow. That's got to be really precise. I mean...
Well, you just yoink on it. He's just yoinking and then putting a bend on the end
to hold it in place.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, I like this, but I would solder it anyway.
Yep.
I would.
I would probably. I mean, I don't know if I would definitely solder it. I know. I said, I'm pro not soldering. I'm not bad at it. I need practice. I would solder it because I need practice.
I would solder it because I think it would be quicker and easier for me with my experiences to solder that than to stretch and pull
all those different wires. Yeah.
But if you don't know how to solder, this is really cool.
Yeah, well, and
really super cool.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
And he shows you how to set it up with the QMK firmware. All of the files I think are available on. I bet they're on Thingiverse, but no, I think they're on his own website. He has the STLs on his blog.
Good. Even better.
I would still tell you go buy Jeremy's PCB.
Yep, Jeremy's PCB is awesome.
It is awesome, but it's not that hard to solder what you'd have to solder on his. But I think this is really cool, and you should go check this out too.
Yes, definitely.
Was that a good one, Tubby?
I think so. Yeah,
I think so,
that was really neat. Why is my pump beeping at me? Yeah, Data. I'm not good at soldering, and because I'm not good at it, I don't like doing it very much. But I need practice.
Yeah, I could flip either way on this. I think stretching and pulling and twisting to get those wires.
As much as I hate cable mess, that sounds like a potential mess of cables, and each cable would be, each wire would be different, right? The same kind of work, but a different route and a different. There's no, you do one, you get better. You don't necessarily get better at the next one, so there's no, I guess, economies of scale at getting better. Whereas with soldering, you do get better. I mean, you get better as you practice.
And I don't want to misquote because I don't know. I'm going to misquote anyway. And we'll continue this episode a little bit, I think. Jeremy's old version of his macro pad is like $10 or $12 on Tindy. And I'm assuming that the one with the extra 2 buttons or extra 3 buttons is going to be a similar price, and it comes with the LEDs pre-soldered on. I mean, boy, even let's say it's $20, and I don't know that it's I'm not saying it's $20, but if you buy Jeremy's MacroPad PCB for $20, all the wiring is done, all the layout of those
Yep.
pins is done. I think they're both a good value. I think the 3D printed MacroPad is awesome because you don't need any soldering, and I think Jeremy's MacroPad is awesome because you don't need to do any of the hand
Yes.
wiring,
Yep. And you get LEDs.
and you get LEDs.
I like
Red, green,
LEDs.
blue LEDs. Oh, I shouldn't have closed that guy. I could paste him in. Can I paste him into the?
I got the link. Where do you need to paste it?
Well, I don't know. Well, no, I shouldn't paste it now because then everybody's going to go watch the other guy instead of finishing watching us.
Yeah.
So what have we done, Tubby? 2, maybe 3 episodes?
Are we count? I've lost count.
Well, we did
Are we count the first one that we might not have had?
We might not have it. We could just do a call later in the week and just do that.
We could just do it again.
Yeah,
We could live stream it again
we can.
for the four people who.
So we might have done 3. We only need to do 2 more. And I'm also excited about Prusa Slicer's new support.
Prusa Slicer or
Prusa, yeah.
oh okay.
Super Slicer will be getting it, but it's in the alpha of the next release. They're behind. This is one of those Prusas ahead of Super Slicer
Okay.
by a release on this one.
Interesting. So what? Yeah, you have
I have the infill, the support infill.
Kira's new lightning infill is in here.
And I just want to open up the new.
I upgraded to the latest Prusa Slicer.
You've got the new snug supports then.
I don't even know what that is. I just saw that a new version was out and said, I want to print something this weekend. So I.
Did you print that, or is that the?
No, this is to the. I don't know how to say that. Our little desk
They have
mounted
some.
tripod guy.
I'm going to try not to tell you about this.
Okay.
I'm going to introduce the episode.
I'm going to act surprised.
No, you don't have to ask surprise. It's fine. Is that Strong Bad? Is Strong Bad a? Is Strong Bad Bob Ross up here?
Oh, I don't know. I've got your other window
Hidden. It might be.
small.
All right, I'm gonna. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Butter What Show. I'm Pat Regan. This is my co-host, my lovely assistant co-host, BrianCMoses.com, and we've got a couple of 3D printing slicer topics to tell you about. And Brian tells me he didn't know about either of these things.
I don't.
So, yeah, so this is exciting. You downloaded the new version of Prusa Slicer just within the last few days, and that means you have the new supports, the snug supports. Snug.
What's a snug support?
You know when you print the supports, you get a grid. You get like a chunky square thing underneath. The snug supports hug well, if you have a curved object like in this picture here, they will hug the object and just be, shaped like the object.
Okay.
Supposed to be easier to remove, but they're a little more fragile. They're less likely to stick to the build plate because they're only a little narrow section
Huh.
touching the plate.
Interesting.
And I'm a butthole, so I've migrated from Prusa Slicer to Super Slicer.
You don't
so
even
I don't
get
have
snug
the snug
supports.
supports yet. Yeah, they're coming in the next version. I don't know when that's due. So
What
I
do
don't
you-
get to try these right away.
What should I print and do a time lapse of to rub in the fact that you don't get it?
Something that needs
A lot of
support,
support.
for
See,
sure.
and
And I
my
don't know if it's a lot. It might be a particular, shape of print
yeah,
that will be better like this.
my rule on 3D printing is look at the amount of supports it need and see if I can get away with not printing them at all.
None. Can I
None.
turn this over?
Can
Can
I-
I cut it in half?
Yes.
But in the same vein, I saw on Lost in Tech's YouTube channel not too many weeks ago, sometime in December, Cura has this new thing called lightning infill. It's mostly hollow, but as your object, it's especially good for big objects. As you get higher up in the object, it'll start attaching infill to the walls of your part and build them inward so that there's something for the middle of the roof to be
Okay.
printed on. And I'm going to skip in here and see if there's any, I don't know where to skip to.
They need a good octolapse.
They do.
Maybe. I don't know that.
Now this looks like some kind of Pikachu with full supports was going to be 5 hours and 23 minutes and
Okay.
46 grams of filament. And I'm assuming he's going to switch the infill here. Lightning infill is the alternative. Here we go. He's about to slice it with lightning infill. Jeez, it's thinking. We don't need it to be thinking. We want to see it. Well, the print time's about the same. 5 hours, 22 minutes. That was
20 minutes shorter?
20 minutes shorter, but
Maybe.
it was also 30-something grams instead of 40-something grams.
Okay.
37 instead of 46.
That's a significant savings of filament.
But I know he did a bigger one with this companion cube here.
This is a triumph.
It is a triumph. I should have wrote all these numbers down before we... Looks like he had a failure here. I'm doing a horrible job flipping through his video, Tubby. "51 minutes, 5 grams?" Yeah, the companion cube, he's getting the... I don't even know how big it is, right? 51 minutes and 5 grams of filament down to 47 minutes. And it still says 5 grams.
Huh.
But the important thing is, I can't use it is the important thing, because this is an improved
This
slicer
is an
or
improved
super,
yeah.
and neither of us use Cura. But it's a neat idea.
Yep.
I don't really care about saving plastic, but I care about saving time. And if there's some models where I could save some time...
Yeah, especially if you're trying to go fast, if you're iterating.
Yeah. And maybe I don't care how sturdy the part is. Most of the rigidity of a model comes from how many shells you have on the outside.
Yep.
But that's a chonky part he has in his hands. That needs more than just walls. If you had infill through that, it would feel
Solid.
solid. And he's got his own conclusions about whether this is an important feature or not. And you should go check him out. It's Lost in Tech. He has about 6,000 subscribers. This video has about 250,000 views.
Cool.
And yeah, I hope this comes to Super Slicer and Improves the Slicer also.
That would be nice.
It would be
It'd be
nice.
fun to try it out.
I did a bad job finding numbers in there.
Well, and it would have been a better job if the numbers were more dramatic.
It would have been, but I remember them being a little better than that.
Yeah.
But I watched this about a month ago, not long after our last live stream. So should we do one about this new E3D hot end?
We should, but I'm not going to have a whole lot to say about the hot end.
Sure you will, because you're attacking this problem differently with your new Prusa printer.
Yes.
Potentially.
Potentially, assuming I put different size nozzles on all my tooling.
But at least you can.
I could. Yeah.
You could. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Just going to look at all the numbers here, make sure everything's happy. All right. Hello, welcome to another episode of the Butter What Show. I'm Pat Regan. This is my lovely co-host, BrianCMoses.com from BrianCMoses.com. And we have yet another, this month is full of them, 3D printing topic to talk to you about. And it is the, I watched Thomas Sandlatterer's video about the new E3D Revo hot end. Have you seen any of this yet, Brian?
I watched the video today. It looks really interesting. I remember it wasn't on my Prusa. I guess on my little MakerBot clone, I changed out a hot end once, and my experience with doing that was, God, that wasn't awful. But I never want to do that again unless I absolutely have to.
So I think what you're telling me, Tubby, is that this new Revo hot end makes it easier to change nozzles.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you, when I watched the first couple of minutes of this video, I was snoring. I was unexcited. It's like, who cares about any of this? And then I got to this point in the video, about, does it say here? About 3.5 minutes in, and I watched what he's doing here. And he is grabbing that silicone, twisting the nozzle, and pulling out this long piece of metal out of the hot end. I'm going to pause it right about here, right there. Now on our Prusa printers, and I imagine on the new Prusa XL that you ordered,
Yep.
the nozzle is a tiny little piece at the end where all the melted plastic sits. And you get, the threads are down at the bottom by the heater, and you have to install and remove nozzles with the hot end brought up to temperature, because that plastic has to melt or else it's going to gum up the works. And it's a pain. You got to put a wrench on there. You have to put a wrench on the heater block. You have to be gentle, but not too gentle, or you're going to have a leak. It's not the sort of thing you would want to do in the middle of a print job, for sure.
No, for sure. Yeah.
This you could do cold, because those threads are up at the... See that little... I can't point. I don't know if you'll even see my mouse pointer. But that little... It's brass up for about an inch. Then there's a little... Well, it looks like steel, but I don't know the material. And then more brass up above.
Mm-hmm.
That's the split between the hot side and the cold side. So all the threading is done up in
Where
the
it's not
cold
warm.
part of the... Where it's not even warm.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's no molten plastic to gum up your
to
threads.
to even worry about. Yeah.
Yeah. So you could do this by hand.
Yep.
You could swap a 0.2 millimeter nozzle for a 0.6 millimeter nozzle in the middle of a print. If that's, I can't imagine how you would slice that, but you could. You could do it. You probably wouldn't do it in the middle of a print. But I don't know that I want to buy this upgrade. I don't know that I want to do the work to put it on my printer. But if I had this, I would change hot ends before a print. I'd have nothing would even make me decide not to.
Yep.
Because I'm sure not doing it today. If I'm swapping to a 0.6 millimeter, it's staying on there for a week.
For a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to do it over and over. This I could do 3 times a day and it'd be fine.
You'd keep a running tally of objects you wanted to print with a particular nozzle and just wait till that queue got deep enough to actually go through the effort of swapping the nozzle.
Yep.
Whereas on this, you could do it, one right after the other and not even...
0.6, 0.2, 0.4,
Yeah.
whatever. back and forth, back and forth. And I looked up the prices, Tubby. And I should have brought that page up before here, but it doesn't matter because they're in pounds and I don't understand pounds.
Yeah, he does it in the video. He converts it into pounds and euros and dollars, but
Yeah,
if,
and converting that and getting it shipped, I mean, it needs to be in a local store for
Yeah.
me to buy it. But I want to say it was about 80 pounds or euros or something for the new hot end that gets you the 0.4 millimeter nozzle, and then it's another 40 pounds for a set of all the other nozzles. I think it's like 0.2, 0.6, and 0.8
Okay.
come in the $40 set, and you already have the 0.4. And I think that's pretty reasonable, and it's compatible with the Prusa. You can pretty much drop it right in. I think I heard you might need a different length of PTFE tube,
okay,
but it'll drop right in. But you ordered a Prusa XL, Tubby,
I did.
and you get to change actual hot ends
Yeah,
mid-print.
that'll be interesting. That's a different way. That's a different way to solve that problem. More expensive, I
It's
expect.
way more expensive,
Yeah.
but it's way easier, and it
Yep.
is something I bet you'll be able to. Like, I would bet you that you'll be able to set a Prusa slicer to use a 0.2 millimeter nozzle for your exterior, and then a 0.6 millimeter for your infill or something, and swap it every. It wouldn't
That's
be
what I
every
was-
layer because the 0.2 is going to print.
Yeah,
It's going to print like 8 layers, and then you'll put one layer of infill,
yeah,
chunky infill on the inside, or something.
yeah. That's what I'm kind of interested in.
But the heater block on this just kind of floats there on a little spring. It's pretty neat.
It's really neat, and it seems less. I mean, I don't know if this is true or not. It seems like it might be easier to, maybe less, not easier, but less intimidating to troubleshoot. You know,
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
I've gotten, down the road of troubleshooting 3D printer problems where there's a line somewhere there where I go, this is where I start getting uncomfortable, and it pretty much ends like right after clearing a jam,
clog.
filament jam of some sort. Like if I can't run, other filament through and clear it by hand, I've got a little skinny Allen wrench that's long that fits all the way down through. But
Jam a lamb of that in there.
if I can't make that work and I have to disassemble the whole hot end, that's right when I get into where I'm not, I don't have as much confidence, and I know that the risk goes way up, and that I might be, without a 3D printer for a while.
Yeah. And I think the timing on this was good, that this came out right as the Prusa XL is coming out, because this would be a nice upgrade to give you some of what you get out of multiple hot ends with
Yep.
the XL. But those extra extruders for the XL, they're like $200 or something per
Per
extruder.
Yep.
And they're like I was saying, they're like the MK3, where you better know what extruder you're putting, or which nozzle you're putting on each hot end, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Which extrude? God, I'm mixing terminology. Hot
Terminology.
end.
Which hot
extruder.
end?
Yeah,
PTFE tube.
but if I ever have to replace my I know it's not quite any. I don't understand the relationship between E3D and Prusa. I know this isn't the standard V6 hot end, but it's compatible, I think.
Okay.
But if I ever have to replace mine, I'm gonna definitely think about this as an upgrade. The E3D Revo.
The E3D
REVO,
Revo.
all caps.
So what you're saying is I should hang on to my Mark III, and
And
I should
upgrade?
I should upgrade it, and then
Maybe.
have two 3D printers.
But you're gonna have to let us know how you like your Prusa XL when it comes in.
I was gonna check sometime this month if any of the dates have changed on my pre-order. I expect they'll contact me.
I would expect so too.
Yeah.
And
No, I mean
I'd expect it to take longer instead of less time.
yeah. No, the original date and I didn't think that this was going to be the date, but the original date that they put on my invoice was the end of January. I mean,
Okay.
I I don't know if I'm one of the first people, but I signed up the very first day. So we'll see. But yeah, the way the you paid a deposit and you have up until you pay for the full thing to change your mind on your configuration and options and accessories.
Yep. I think that's an episode, Tubby.
I think that's an episode also. Is anybody else going to put Revo 3D into their 3D printers?
I hope I someday do, and I also hope I never have to.
Yeah, that's kind of how
Right?
I
It would
feel.
be nice to not have to.
Well, that's kind of how I feel about upgrading the Mark III, keeping and upgrading the Mark III. It'd be nice to be able to take one apart and
And
have
still
no
be able to
pressure
print.
and still be able to print. And it, like having a daily driver car
Yeah.
and then a fast car for fun that you can have broken
Do,
in your garage for.
do you skim the 3D printing subreddit?
I do not go onto Reddit all that often. I don't know why I was there.
What do you do when you poop? What?
Well, for starters, I poop. I
But
tweet.
I was surfing Reddit. I don't know if I was pooping, but I sometimes like to click on the people that are having problems just to see how people suggest the solutions, and they're horrible at it. They love to tell you, "Oh, you're too far. You got to level your bed."
That's
What are
the
you people talking about? This guy's 3 inches high on his print. Any mistake down at the bed has been corrected by this. It's evened itself out. It's fine by now.
the. I
But
made
there
a
was a guy, they were talking about somebody did need to change a nozzle. Somebody had a problem with their nozzle. There was one guy who said, "Oh yeah, I buy them by the dozen. I change out. He says he has 4 printers and he changes the nozzle on them every week." Yeah,
why?
and well,
Well,
that's what I said. I bookmarked that post because there weren't very many replies, and I wanted to see how many people said, "What? Are you out of your mind? We never change our nozzle." It's like you should be going years without changing nozzles for most people. Even if you're printing all day, you should be going months at least without having to change a nozzle. This
Yeah,
poor
I
guy.
can't.
Your problem is not the nozzle. Whatever his problem is,
Whatever. It's
whatever else he does while he's replacing the nozzle fixes his
the
problem.
placebo effect, right?
Yeah. Well,
Or
not necessarily
yeah,
a
not
placebo,
yeah.
even. Yeah, when I worked tech support, you would tell people to reboot things just so time goes by so that whatever's actually wrong rights itself, right?
Yep.
For all we know, when he takes the nozzle off, puts a new one in, and refines his primary 0 point. Maybe that's what fixes
Yep.
everything. Who knows? Poor guy.
Yeah, poor guy. I'd hate to.
So did we do 4 episodes? Maybe 5?
I think we did 4 and maybe 5 if that other one uploads. I should have kept that incognito window open.
Well, it'll be okay. We could do a call one day this week,
and just talk about
yeah.
my fancy neon or RGB door back there. You know
Heck,
what
maybe
color?
we'll sit down in front of it and talk about it.
Yeah. It'd be kind of boring. I'd be way back here.
But yeah. Well, I meant both of us. We could do it on Saturday
Oh,
or something.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
sit down and do a 3-minute recording and call it an episode. It'd be weird.
The do you know what color that light is right now?
I've heard this before too, Lieutenant Data, and I didn't know if it was a gag or if somebody. But you're right. It's always somebody's cousin.
Florida.
Yeah. Have you seen this, Brian? I'm gonna say.
I see
For-
it. Yeah.
The supposed story is that somebody's relative just moved out into their own place for the first time, and they complain about cooking because they have such a mess to clean in the oven every time they cook because they didn't know to use a tray to, put your food on anything. And they're using it like a grill outside.
You just set it on the grill. Yeah.
well,
It's shaped
sometimes
like
you put a pizza right on the
Yep.
rack. But you should. It helps if you put something underneath that to catch any of the
Yeah,
drippings.
kept the
Golly,
leavings.
there's some videos of videos. They're probably
Pizzas
photos.
that have completely.
Yeah. Well, you know what they're doing, right? That's not like a frozen pizza or a thick pizza that you're supposed to put on the rack. That is, they're making dough and
Okay,
putting it on there, and
it just
it has no.
has no form. It's actually white, Richard. The light is white. That's bright white right now.
But the
And
case is blue.
the all of the case is blue. So there's enough blue by those RGB LEDs that if there's any bit of yellow or it, if it's white, if it's between white and blue, it looks light blue to darker, not necessarily darker, but richer blue. And then if it's got any hint of yellow in it, it looks green. If I set it to orange, it looks green. It still looks green. It just looks a kind of a darker green. It's real strange. Where's the? I could
Are you gonna change it?
yeah, gotta fire up Home Assistant.
That's the drum roll. I have
Well,
to
now
look over my camera to see. I just have your eyes over the top of my camera, so I
Okay.
don't look too far from the lens. Now I have to. Oh, I can look over here too.
Yeah, you have multiple computers. You're a
Yeah,
cheater.
they're all showing me the same thing.
I have too much stuff in Home Assistant, Pat. I need to start cleaning up my dashboards. I can't find it.
Well, tell me, while you're looking for this, you want me to talk to you about something that random
Yeah,
that
do
sure
it.
doesn't need an episode? Brian and I started playing Team Fortress 2 again.
We did.
We stopped playing because the game was overrun with bots, like not just aim bots, but scripted dudes walking around on a script and just headshotting people. No human being involved whatsoever. And our friend Six and our friend Cool Boy Supreme both told us the bot situation isn't as bad as it was a year and a half ago. You should come play again. And I thought they were right, but boy, it's getting bad again the last few days. Tubby, I Googled around to find community servers.
Uh-huh.
And one of the TF2 streamers has a community with a few dozen servers. And I've had 4 or 5 really good games on their servers.
Okay.
Except I want to play Payload, and they always vote a non-payload map.
Yeah. It's red now. It doesn't.
No, it is.
Well,
it's
now
off.
it's on a loop. It should
a-
be on a loop now.
That's really red?
Not right now. Now it's
It looks green.
greenish.
It looks green, but it doesn't light the blue anymore.
I don't know how quickly it should be on a loop.
You're
No,
on
it's-
a loop.
I'm on a loop. Here we'll do random. I don't
That's
even know.
blue.
Yeah, that's white. It's at an angle facing. I'll have to point that when we do this again. However
Are you-
we do it, we need to point the camera right at it.
Are you going to have to replace the LEDs in your other face so that they stay in sync? There's another face behind you.
Yeah, this one up here.
Yeah.
I was gonna. Well, before I used the wide angle lens, that wasn't even in some of our shots, right?
It wasn't. No, but now it's
It was-
definitely. Well, and it might not be in the episode, Tubby, because it depends on how.
You zoom and crop and post. Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching yesterday. What's today? Tuesday?
Yes.
Yesterday's published episode, the one about you talking about the Pursa XL. And last month we did a fantastic job of getting our faces into a good part of the frame where I could get us nicely scaled side by side. It looks really nice.
Okay.
I was very proud of how it came out.
We might have even done a better job. Oh yeah, I've got the brightness turned way down. that better? I don't know.
I flew the Tiny Hawk today with your Instago on it.
Would you? I didn't get a chance to watch that video. I've been.
Oh, it flew great. I got to take it somewhere instead of just zipping it back and forth. I lowered my up tilt because I was going like
You were cooking.
crazy fast the whole time. And I gave every prop a tug before I flew it, and I swapped 3 of the props because 3 of them felt loose, like they were getting old and not sticking, because it's just friction fit. I bumped the shrub, and the 4th prop that I didn't replace is gone. Just gone. Yeah, we'll never see that one again. But I'm pretty impressed. I know I haven't flown a real freestyle quad in a long time, but it feels more freestyle with the extra weight than it did. It felt more like a racing drone
Yeah.
before.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, everything looks blue.
Everything is. I haven't seen a different color besides blue, Tubby.
This should be like violet. This is full on red, I expect. And that doesn't
off.
even.
That's
it's off. Yeah. This is yellow. That'll look green.
It does.
This is super green. Permagreen.
Permagreen. If that were in the episode, I would put Chris Tucker right in place.
Yeah, and this is like, I guess, cyan, royal blue. But
Don't
yeah,
put your meat right on the rack in the oven.
yeah, and that's white. That's
Now, we didn't talk about it on the episode, but it lights up all the cables and stuff in there that
Yes.
you can't see from here. And Brian was asking me what to do about that, and I said, well, put like a smoked piece of acrylic behind the grill, but that'll block all the airflow, so you can't do that. That was a bad idea.
that's not a bad idea. It's just we're really
Inception.
that's actually not a bad photo of it.
Tubby, do you know what you've been doing a good job of the last 2 live streams?
What have I done?
Keeping your head in about the same place.
Oh, really? I'm not bobbing and weaving?
Well, I don't know about the bobbing and weaving, but you're landing back. Sometimes we do the episodes and somebody gets over here. So by the time when I do the cropping of everyone, somebody's head starts to shift out of their third or half of the screen. But I didn't have to do anything with the last set of episodes.
Oh, good.
So far.
Hopefully we haven't regressed.
I want to move my sound panels a little farther from the wall.
How are you going
I
to do
learned
that?
a lot building your sound panel, not necessarily from your sound panel, but from watching other people build sound panels. And the science says that, and this scales to any size, a 3-inch sound panel should be 3 inches from the wall. And a 3-inch sound panel that's 3 inches from the wall is almost identical to a 6-inch panel right up against the wall.
Okay.
So my 2.5-inch panels should be 2.5 inches from the wall.
And that'll make it like a 5-inch panel.
But if you go too far, it starts to. Alex explained to us what it does. It does something weird happens to the phase, and then it gets goofy. Why am I not getting a loud clap? What's wrong with my hands here?
Your
I'm trying not
headphones
to do
are
it
on.
Right by the mic.
Your headphones are noise canceling
that?
out.
Oh, geez, you're right. Why does that sound
You
so
better
muffled?
tweet that. Why does that? You got headphones on. That's the best part of the live stream.
Oh my god!
I hope everybody stayed here for that.
Oh, good gravy, Tubby. Good gravy.
Oh my goodness.
Well, is there anything else we should talk about, or should we start calling it a night?
I think we should call it a night. I was gonna, after I hang up, I was gonna try and launch a new incognito tab and sign back in.
You should, yeah. Well, just go to Riverside/upload with the other
Okay.
and see what happens. You never know.
I'm not hopeful. Yeah, it says it didn't find anything to upload.
Well, I did. I forgot, Mr. Data. I had a thought in my head and it vanished.
If I had not closed that tab, I could have uploaded it. But
Yeah,
killing the tab
yeah.
killed
Killed
whatever
the
it
incognito. Yeah,
whatever
deleted
it
all
cached.
Yeah, we can. I may have you in crummy video with decent audio from the
Okay.
internet recording. Maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know. If I do, maybe we'll make an episode out, or we'll just re-record it.
Yep. We can do that.
Yeah. But if none of you fine folks out in YouTube land don't have any questions,
If none of you don't have any
oh
questions.
geez, yeah,
If none
I
of you
did.
don't have questions?
Well, I was also in my mind. I was thinking about how to thank everybody for tuning in too. So there's a lot of thoughts going in my head. that are not.
Planning your dismount.
Yeah, this is like when you wave to somebody, you tell them, "Good care, take luck, take luck." You
like
too.
You hang up
Enjoy
the phone
your food.
and you
Enjoy your
accidentally
dinner.
tell somebody that you love them. I love you.
But
Well,
now
thank
I've
you
totally-
everybody for coming and hanging out with us.
We do appreciate it very much. And all these words in the chat is nice. I'm excited about this. And we did all right, Tubby, for you having a 15-minute hiccup.
Yep.
We still did it in about 90 minutes, which is pretty good.
I got to figure out what I did wrong on my Stream Deck that just perma-muted that mic.
Permamute.
But only for Chrome, not anywhere
Yeah.
else. Not in Discord, not
Yeah.
in Windows Sound Recorder, not anywhere.
And
that
not quite in Chrome because it saw your VU.
It saw
meter.
it. The frame around the Riverside windows was lit up the whole time I was talking. Yours was lighting up when you were talking. I was like,
Oh, I didn't see your frame light up ever.
yeah, it was for me the whole time.
Yeah.
I was like, hey Pat, can you hear me? And
No. None of you don't have no questions.
I think a triple negative makes it a negative, right?
I think it's hard. I think it's hard. I think it would be better if I did it correctly. Well, what do you say, Tubby? I'll see you on Thursday for Velocidrone.
Yeah, Thursday. Does anybody else like to fly drone simulators? Get Velocidrone and join us on Thursday nights.
Yeah, we got Twisted Grim in
Yep.
last week. Hopefully he'll be back.
That was fun.
It was fun.
It is fun.
It's
Every
always
week.
fun.
Yep.
Something goofy always happens. But did we thank everybody?
I
You
said thank
thanked
you.
everybody. Did I agree? I also thank you all.
You must
for,
have. You're very agreeable.
Oh, thank God.
No, you're supposed to say no. I'm not.
Oh no, I can't do that. But I'm gonna figure out how to finish this. Oh gosh, where are you at? I'm gonna hit this. I'm gonna hit the hang up. I'm not gonna hit hang up. I'm just gonna end the.
The
No,
live
I'm not.
stream.
I'm gonna hit stop on record.